had an injury. We expect him to be back. I don't think we've talked since then. Is that correct or no? Have we? Bake has season injury, ending injury to his knee. If I'm right, I think we got out of today's scrimmage. I don't think we had any significant injuries at all. I don't remember anybody going off their side or anything like that. So that was a good thing. We were live again on punts, kickoff, return, opening kickoff. We gave Satania took it 100 yards, took it for a touchdown on the opening kickoff, and it was a live rep. So I was as happy as I am for the kickoff return team, kickoff team gave up 100 and something yards return. But that was a good way to start the scrimmage. Thought it was a good physical battle. We had a couple of big plays taken back by holding penalties on offense. I think you have to understand too, guys, the format of because I think if I'm understanding, you guys want to know who played well, and there's a winner and a loser. And if that was the case and we called it, I'd say probably the defense got the better of the offense. If you're looking at ones, twos, and threes, I mean, if you're doing that. But the format is set up that the offense gets the ball 75 yards away from scoring a touchdown, and they've got 10, maybe 11 plays possibility to do it. So really what we're looking for is making calls, who's physical, who's coming around, who can tackle, who can run the ball, who can catch, things of that nature. And it was about 140 plays, I think, maybe more because we did get the ball back in 2 minutes. Cam, another highlight, Cam Little kicked a 59-yard field goal today. And I believe he was 100% on his. I think we might have missed one or two with the twos, one with the twos. And Cam was 100. Boy, he's kicking the ball really well. Punted the ball well, punted the ball really well, both of them, 37 and Fletch. So a lot of good things. If I was disappointed in anything, it would be the number of times that we got called holding on the edge and on offense. I think our defense cleaned up their penalties until the very end on the last 2-minute drill. We got a couple of holdings on that. But other than that, I thought the defense flew around, played well. We got some of the guys back. Book was back this week. Pooh was not in there yet. And 51 came back on offense. So Devin. So I'll answer whatever question good as I can. You guys got to know I just came off. I probably told you everything I know already, but I'll answer whatever you got. We started out, we changed the format, Trey. Today it started out good on good. So we had the opening kickoff, which Isaiah put back the touchdown. And then we went out there good on good. I believe the very first play of scrimmage, KJ, who'd you throw it to there on Jaden? And got a nice 16, 17-yard gain on that, made the first down. I think we might have got one more. And then we had to punt. Yeah, it was 1-on-1, 2-on-2, 3-on-3. Then we went back to 1-2, 2-1, 3-3. And then it was good on good for second play, third play, fourth, high, low, get the ball back in 2 minutes.
We're talking about the pass protection, having some problems in the last scrimmage.
Yeah.
But he said, in scrimmages, you tend to throw more than you normally would because all the situation stuff. Does that make the defense kind of pin their ears back a little bit more? And how was it today? How was pass pro?
I thought our pass protection was better today. Now, I mean, it's hard to, you got 7. He just walked in. You got him coming off the edge. That's a bad man sitting back there. And it's going to take a really good offensive line, And here's the other thing with him. We're not going into the scrimmage saying, okay, we're going to slide to him, we're going to chip him, we're going to do all those things. We're trying to see if we got somebody that can block him, and so I did think the protection, even though we've got still a long way to go, I thought it was better this week than it was last week. And I'll be honest with you, I think Andrew Chambly, Deb Manuel hadn't played a lot, but I think, and you guys 7 about that too, but he don't go against him quite as much as he does the other side. But I think Chambly had, don't you, KJ? I mean, I think he had a really good week, and I think he's solidified at worst that second team left tackle spot. But I thought they did better this week in the pass protection, but I think we got a pretty good front, and they're very difficult to play, especially when they're loaded. But scrimmages are always you're trying to get that quarterback and that receiver game, and you're hoping in practice you see the run game, and you feel like you got a good run game or a good run stopping game. But in scrimmages, it seems like you always err on throwing the football more.
Does that make him your kickoff return guy, or how's that going?
No, it's still a battle in there. I think we'll decide sometime mid of next week. I think we have to be honest with you, because Wednesday we start prep on Western Carolina. So we'll review the tape and go there. But I can promise you it didn't hurt us.
Okay, or who else is in that mix?
Snacks Johnson is also in that mix. And Bryce Stevens is doing that a little bit too.
You practiced for 2 weeks, you got 2 weeks for the opener, so you kind of get at a halfway point. Just how do you feel about what you guys have done where you are?
Team, they're physical. The heat was a little bit of a problem with emotions today that we've got to get under control. We will, and we got a good culture. I think our kids like each other. I think they love each other, and they play hard. And you're gonna win a lot of games being able to do that. We got a tough football team. Proud of them.
Receivers stood out today.
Probably two, I'd say. I don't know. We didn't have a whole lot of big plays out there today. We had a lot of first downs, but not a lot of big plays, I think, too. KJ, who else did you throw the ball to a lot? Tyrone, 17. I don't know, guys. Sometimes, we got ones, twos, and threes, and I can't. My mind don't work as good as it used to.
Coming up, how would you say that basically the camp went, that, what would have been the old two-a-days type portion of it? And then what are you focusing on for this week?
Love it. I think in camp, I think you have to talk to your kids, and to a man, they really like the early morning practices, and we're going to keep that. They liked it. They practiced hard. We're going to be ready for the heat in 2 weeks, because we got 2 weeks of afternoon practice. Before you asked me about the air conditioner, it's supposed to be ready to go on Monday. And yeah, but I thought camp went great. I think we got a good culture. We got hot today. There was a little bit of tempers flaring out there back and forth, and we got hot. But when you're hot, you got to control those things. It was a great learning experience for us today, and we got a good, tough football team, and I like where we're at after 2 weeks. I really did a lot.
I believe you said that you guys had a little bit of trouble on the edges. Was that first team offense or just like overall offense?
We've got good pass rushers on every level, ones, twos, and threes, and the best thing that's happening is really for like a Kudos is he's going against Tree, and there might be a better DN out there, but we ain't trading knowledge. So I'd say there was a little bit of that problem in all levels, but it was much better than it was a week ago.
On a couple of the receivers who performed well today, but I'm curious if maybe you're starting to see maybe a starting rotation of receivers stand out to you.
Yeah, I think 2 of the 3 we're pretty locked in on, and we're close on the third, but we're going to play about 6 of them. So, but I do think 2 of the 3 probably had, a little bit ahead of the other guys, and we're pretty close on who the other one would be to start, but we're going to need 6 of them to play well.
Coach, I think last week you mentioned the penalties for the secondary, and I think today you might have said a couple of holding, but did they take that step forward in your mind today?
Yeah, I thought they did. I mean, we'll look at the tape and see if they all got called or not. I think you have to ask KJ about that. I think he saw a few more than what they called out there, but yeah, I think we made a conscious effort of it. We did last week as well. Here's the other thing too, guys. We're dealing with 2 separate different types of officiating too. I mean, last week was SEC crew, and this week is more of an MIAA. Some other crew. Is different crew, and so different people called close plays differently. We'll look at it on there. I'm not trying to make a mountain out of a molehill. There was more flags out there than what we can win a game with, though, for the second week in a row.
How difficult is it to maintain the players' concentration this last upcoming preseason week without a game?
I don't think at all, because the way we structure it, Friday night is, we're going to announce captains on Friday, and we're going to go out there and do a mock game. That's just a change up for them. But we're starting Monday, Tuesday, and then it goes Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then the game. So because knowing that, we change up the format of practice to keep the kids, because when they come back on a Saturday, they're going to be back on a Monday schedule again.
What do you feel about your group of receivers?
Very good. You ask KJ about that. He's the one who's got to throw to, but I feel really good about it.
Was back today. Did he immediately slot back with the ones, and then how did he perform his first day back?
I'm laughing because KJ said, Kyle, 10 minutes. I'm not running it. He's the guy. Now you looking at me. He's the guy, and I keep doing it. KJ, I see you looking at him, and I'm doing it like this too. Devin, no, Chambly's earned the right to go out there with the one. Dev hadn't practiced until yesterday. He did get third down with the ones, and he did get 6 plays the second time we ran out, 1s versus 2 with the ones. Dev's a really good player, but we certainly didn't want to disrespect Andrew for all the great work that he's done, but he did get some 1s as well.
I ask another question about the receivers. I noticed Jaden Wilson, I think, has been getting some reps in the slot, and then also Bryce moving out to the outside. Just what went into that move?
I like him in there. Well, we're trying to see if he's one of our 3 top receivers to run out there the first group. I like him out there. He got his shoulder banged up a little bit on Thursday. Put on a green jersey, practiced, and then practiced in the scrimmage. He was just not live with the ball in his hand, but everything else he was live. I didn't want to disrespect the defense, that way, but yeah, I think that's a good lineup with Drew, Tesla, and Jaden in there.
Well, you talked about Cam Little's range and how impressed you are by it. Just how does that make you feel more comfortable heading into 4th down situations and things like that?
Well, every 2-minute situation, I'm out there. So I'm talking with KJ, and let me tell you this: we're going to put the ball in his hands. If it's 3rd and 12 to go win the game, we got a lead, and if we get a first down, the game's over. We're going to put it in his hands and figure out what he can do. I have so much trust in him, but the lines move back now. I mean, because if you're anywhere around the 40-yard line, this dude's going to blast it now. And today was no different. We was on the 41 and field goal, and it was like, I mean, I don't know how long he can kick it from, but I can guarantee he can kick it 60 because he does it every day. Yeah, a lot. It helps us. Be a weapon, big time.
Sam, earlier you said Jeff Cope was a bad man. What, in your opinion, what are you seeing that makes you say that, and what kind of a camps he had?
Jeff Cope, come up here for a second. This is what an All-American defense is. 2023, this is what I want to look like. It's 280. If you run 21. I don't feel still right there with me. But very strong, very fast, great leader. And to be honest with you, probably hungrier than you've ever been in your life. And that makes a big difference. Okay.